How you guys doing out there? It's going to be another album reaction coming right at you. This is a subscriber request. Now, it's been a long time since I told this person that I would get to this video, and for that I apologize. I'm finally moved into my new place. Everything's unpacked, everything's good to go. So yeah, I'm going to start this train rolling again. And if you guys are subscribers, and subscribers only, please, if you guys have other albums you want me to react to, drop those down in the comments section. I want to hear what you guys like. I don't want to just be picking all the albums, but I also only really want to indulge the subscribers because those are the people supporting me. So I want to be able to give back to those people and, you know, give them a reaction to something that they think is good, not just some random person who comments on the video. So that's kind of where I stand on that. But yeah, we're going to get into some Wintersun today. This is Wintersun, The Forest Seasons. It came out in 2017. It's been highly touted as one of the best albums to come out that year. I can't believe I haven't heard it yet. I kind of forgot about Wintersun for a while there. But I know they're a great band. They're a Finnish band. I mean, the guitar playing is out of this world, and they're very their sound is very big. It's very grandiose. It's very kind of orchestral. They're a really interesting band. So me and Wintersun go back a long time. I mean, I first ran into them back in like 2003 or 4, whenever their first album came out. I remember hearing some of the stuff off of there and being blown away at the time. But I haven't listened to them in a long time. So yeah, we're going to see what's going on with this thing. I'm excited. Again, this is The Forest Seasons. I'm reading here that it was inspired by Antonio Vivaldi's violin concerto, The Four Seasons, which, if you haven't heard that, that is also necessary, mandatory listening, especially because heavy metal and classical music have been like this for a long time, all the way back to the days of Geezer Butler and Black Sabbath, right? So if you guys haven't checked out that concerto, The Four Seasons by Vivaldi, that's great stuff. But here we have 4 tracks. I'm not going to listen to the instrumentals. 4 tracks. It's about 50-ish minutes of music here. There's one for spring, summer, autumn, winter. This first track is called Awaken from the Dark Slumber, and it's spring, and it's 14 minutes and 40 seconds. I should say that all of these tracks, each of these 4, go over 12 minutes. So this could be similar to my reaction to the Wolves in the Throne Room album, Diadem of 12 Stars. I think that one was also only 4 tracks. If you guys haven't checked that out, go check that out. That's great. What I'm going to do is stop the music every 4 minutes or so and then give a little bit of commentary. But I'm also going to try to cinch my commentary up because I know you guys don't like to just sit here and watch me talk. I know you want to hear the music, so I'm going to try to cinch that up just a little bit. But yeah, I'm going to break these songs up so that because I'm not going to be able to remember, 14 minutes of music and then be able to comment on it intelligently. But I think that's enough of a preamble. We're going to get into the album now. This is the first track off of The Forest Seasons. It's called Awaken from the Dark Slumber. Here we go. Let's see what's going on. So far, this is badass, man. I can't tell like what's really going on here. This is not something that I expected from Wintersun. To be honest, guys, I actually took some time recently to reacquaint myself with some of their music. Specifically, Time One. Found that album at the local library on CD. I rented it out, and I've been listening to it for about a week, just over and over again to kind of get back into Wintersun a little bit. And I don't think there's anything on that album. I might be wrong, you guys that have listened to it longer than I have. I don't think there's anything on that album that is as dark in its vibe and feeling and intent as this first 4 minutes on this opening track. The sort of the symphonic darkness here, the riffs, his voice, the harsh vocals, it harkens back to some of the stuff that Dimmu Borgir used to do back in the 90s and 2000s, That's what that reminds me of. So I love that stuff. I could listen to that stuff all day, and I think that type of music, a lot of the best style or the best place to find that is in Scandinavia. So Wintersun definitely plays the part very well, but yeah, so far I love this thing. It's not hyper technical, but that's okay. I don't need it to be. But anyway, I just wanted to say I'm impressed with what I'm hearing so far.
Let the darkness seize, wave
where he gets into the growling again. That gallopy riff just now really got me, man. That was so great. I'm going to rewind it here and play. Just like right when that comes in, the way they did that was so perfect. It's like, you know, they hadn't hit you with too many, you know, mind-blowing riffs in this song yet. And that's not particularly mind-blowing per se, but I was kind of starved a little bit for that. And then that gallop came in and just got me, man. It got me really good. I felt like I was really into the song at that point. I've been really enjoying this thing this whole time. I want to back it up to another part in the song that I thought was really good, that really spoke to me as well as a fan of old Dimmy Borgir. Yeah. Dude, put that on repeat, man. Loop that. That is so badass. That entire section. I love sort of the synths in the background. They may be keyboards. I'm not sure. I don't even know the difference really between those two. If you guys could help me out with that. From what I've read, it sounds like a synthesizer is just something that generates sound, whereas a keyboard is the thing that you actually has the black and white keys that you play. And I guess a synthesizer could be like your computer. But either way, you guys hear what I'm talking about. It's like that atmospheric backdrop in the music. That sound, that's kind of the overlay behind the guitars that are playing. That's what really reminds me of the symphonic black metal stuff, and with how dark it is. And I love this. Or you know what? Those may be guitars now that I think about it. I don't know. I don't know what's been used on this album. So it looks like that is a synthesizer. Okay, I love the synthesizer on that section of the song. It sounds really dark and really evil, and coupled with the guitar, and you can tell this is sort of like winter clutching to the landscape and not wanting to release its hold from the environment is sort of what this is to me. And then we get to this section at around 6 minutes and a quarter. Everything gets real quiet all of a sudden. We've got a sudden change in mood. To me, this is like the first buddings of plant life and sunshine and spring starting to come in. And then maybe this, when the electric guitar comes in, this is like proper springtime, you know? So it sounds like they're going through a definite progression here that makes sense logically with the way the seasons progress. And I think that's really cool. So, but yeah, anyway, I've talked long enough. I'm going to go ahead and let the rest of this song play out.
Awaken.
before it gets into whatever it's going to get into there, man. I heard the tempo speeding up. I knew something was coming. My subscribers are freaking smart, man. They're smart people. I like my subscribers. You guys have been recommending great music. Even the album that I didn't end up putting on the channel, the Industrial album, was excellent. During Gray, Dumb Sparrow was excellent. This album, I can tell, is going to be excellent. This has already got my attention more than Time One. Like, I really enjoyed Wintersun's debut, their self-titled album. Time One left me a little bit cold. It was pretty good. It was all right, but it wasn't like this is aggressive and it's dark. At least the first third of it is very dark. And just the riffs are excellent. The guitar playing is out of this world. It's a 14-minute song, and I haven't been bored once, man. They just have a great, like a lot of bands that I've reviewed on this channel, this is another one you can chalk up as having a great ability, I guess, to keep and maintain attention for, you know, the entirety of a 14-minute song. That's a lot more difficult than it sounds, guys. I really like what I'm hearing so far from this band. There's only 2 minutes left in the song, so I'm going to let the rest of it play out. Dude, you hear that song live, they might as well just tuck you into bed, man, because you're gonna be done. You're as a listener, you're gonna be like exhausted after that shit. That was epic. I loved, there was a little change up near the end here that I want to focus on. Right here. Before that, just felt like a wall of instrumentation. And then when that section hit, and by the way, the drums are badass. I almost said drummer, but I know these drums were actually programmed by the main guy. I want to say his name is Yari Manpa. I don't know how to say that. I don't know the correct pronunciation, so I'm just going to call him Yari, all right? Just to avoid offending anybody. Yeah, he's the guy that's basically the brains behind this band. I like this already better than Time One. Yeah, I know the drums have been programmed, but the beats are interesting to me. The drum patterns are interesting. Super intense, really aggressive. Not what I expect, per se, from Wintersun, but they brought it with this opener. I'm enthralled with this thing. I think the way that the music started out really dark and heavy and symphonic, and it got that real Dimmu Borgir type of vibe going. There was that soft passage, and then it changed over. It felt like a transition from winter into spring, you know? And that was a really thoughtful way to write the song. I mean, you can tell a lot of thought went into this, and this main musician, I'm going to call him Yari, I feel like he's extremely talented. I mean, how could you not be? If you think about, now I'm just going to read some of his duties on this album. It says here, per Wikipedia, he did lead vocals, guitar, bass, drum programming, synthesizer samples, and orchestrations. So he's basically in charge of the whole damn thing. And it's really good. It's phenomenal. It's better than a lot of bands do, man. A lot of full bands. So yeah, I'm super impressed with this guy. I'm going to go ahead and listen to this next track, though. This track 2, The Forest That Weeps. This is supposed to be summer. Let's see what's going on with this thing. really enjoyed the song so far. I liked the acoustic intro, kind of the soft intro. After that, pretty symphonic, a little bit underwhelming, not really too many great guitar riffs going on. But once his vocals started, once the kind of harsh vocals, and then he came in with that really cool, cleanly sung vocal passage, or he's really yelling, is what it sounds like. But that, I thought, took the song to another level, made it that much more intense, that much more passionate, that much more engaging. I really got into the song after that section, and now I'm completely hooked on the song. So yeah, these first 4 minutes, pretty good. We're gonna see what happens in the next four. This is 12 minutes and 18 seconds, this song. So I saw the legs that shiver. Great riffs there. This kind of reminds me of like symphonic power metal with balls. That's what this sounds like to me. Not that I'm not crapping on power metal, all right? If you like power metal or you like symphonic metal, you know, I get it. I understand everybody likes different things. I'm not saying I dislike it or anything. It's just it has that, what I'm trying to communicate is that this has that vibe and feel to me a little bit from the little that I've heard in those styles anyway. That acoustic section in the middle there was just perfect, man. The way that they suddenly, abruptly just took you to that place and then maintained it. The intensity of the song just built back up, and then they catapulted you right back into, the distorted guitar, the heaviness, and I just love the way that they're structuring the songs on this album. I love it. This is the second song in a row where it seems like there's been some sort of acoustic section in the middle, and I don't know what that's signifying in this song per se. Maybe those are the transitions between seasons. I don't know. It seems strange for that to occur in every song about each season. You would think that it would be consistent throughout, but you wouldn't have a song that was titled Summer that talked about summer and then was a transition into fall. I think it definitely happened on the prior track, but I'm saying I would just be curious to me to see that continue through the rest of these tracks. But yeah, I thought this was amazing so far. Like I said, I love just the guitar work is just stellar, man. And I accused the guy of yelling when he was singing. He was singing. My memory just wasn't that good. And the choir vocals are excellent as well. It's got a very epic feel to it. So this is really good, guys. I'm really glad. You know who you are. Thank you so much for recommending this thing. I know I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of this track out now. what to say after that, man. Those choir vocals near the end there, the latter third of that track. Again, it's some Lord of the Rings shit, man. It's like mythological and cinematic, and like it's like being in some crazy fantasy realm somewhere. Listening to this album, it just transports you to another world. I love everything about this, man. I love the guitar playing, the drumming, the choir vocals, the changes in tempo and the changes in the character of the song, how it goes from being soft to heavy. I love the fact that it's very extravagant. The music is extravagant and it's long-winded, and it's just kind of laying these epics on you, and I'm just soaking it up, man. I'm really enjoying this. I think the guy that wrote this music is a genius, man. He's a lot smarter than I am and a lot better musician than I'll ever be. I don't know if I enjoyed that track, the second track, better than Awaken from the Dark Slumber. I think the first track, Awaken from the Dark Slumber, is still my favorite. But that second track was still very good. It was still excellent. So far, 2 tracks in, loving every second of this thing. Really enjoying it. Great request again. I want to go ahead and listen to this third track, though, Eternal Darkness. This is Autumn. This is the third phase. So we're already halfway through the album. That was fast, wasn't it, right? It felt like it went by so quick. But we're going to go ahead and check this out. It's 14 minutes. Again, I'll stop it 3 times and then play it till the end. like I've been transported once again into a symphonic black metal spiral here. It's just really cool, actually. I really like that style of metal, but I'm just confused. I'm confused because these songs, like our seasons, like I live in Missouri in the USA, okay? I live in the Midwest of the USA. Our seasons must be vastly, I mean, now that I think about it, it makes complete sense, right? Finland, their seasons, our seasons, they've got to be vastly different. I mean, you take the first track, Spring, the first third of it, almost the first half of it, sounded like something that would evoke thoughts of winter and cold and darkness and depression. And then it kind of opened up later in the song. And so to me that says, hey, their spring is basically half of it, or the first third is an extension of winter. And that's same here. It's the exact same thing here. You know, that makes perfect sense. Then Summer, the title of the song is The Forest That Weeps, which is really weird because when I think of trees weeping as a metaphor, the only thing that I can think of that's like the real life correlate to that expression would be if the leaves are falling off the trees. That is the title of Summer, the summer act, or the summer phase. That doesn't happen over here until the fall. And then autumn is called eternal darkness. Like we have summer type weather usually for the first month of fall. Like it's still warm outside. People, at the most, they may have to wear like a light jacket. But autumn is called eternal darkness. And then right off the bat, we've got this plunge into this blast beat and these really sinister kind of synths in the background, and it sounds like, again, it sounds like a symphonic black metal track. So, and then winter obviously is loneliness. So basically you've got winter covering like over half of this. Over half of this set of 4 songs is themed with winter basically. And then in summer the leaves are falling off the trees. So that's what I think trees weeping is. If that's not what it means, then someone please, inform me about that. But it's really I'm coming to the realization like, holy crap, this must be what this guy experiences in Finland, where these guys are from. It's just interesting. We have a lot longer stretch of warm weather here than they seem to have there. So just wanted to bring that to you guys' attention. I was starting to notice that and pick up on that as I was listening. But so far, this is a pretty intense track. We're going to go ahead and let it play to the 8-minute mark. so gorgeous, man. That guitar melody, so beautiful, so melancholic, so grand, and all enveloping, man. That'll hook right into your chest, you know, as a music listener, and really just dig out your insides, right? Splay you wide open. That was so cool. This song is great. This is probably my favorite. This and Awaken from the Dark Slumber. What I like about this is just the influences. One moment, you know, it sounds like Dimmu Borgir, and then it sounds like Children of Bodom a little bit, and then it sounds like Swallow the Sun. You know, they've got all these different influences in here. I just love this section of the song. This is so beautiful. Again, beautiful, melancholic. It really speaks to the feeling that some of these people must get whenever they understand the warm weather's gone and the cold is back, and they're just facing, you know, 6 months perhaps of cold, 6 months or maybe even more than that of just darkness and cold, and how they must feel. You know, it's very heavy, man. The people get all kinds of different shades of depression and just melancholia during the winter months, and as the summer starts to wane and you move into autumn, it can be a very depressing time for some people. Yeah, I think in this part of the world, they must have a sort of a bleak autumn. That's what I'm guessing based on this song and based on the name and just the way it's being presented. They must not have a lot of warm weather in the fall. So, but that's kind of sad. I wish everybody could experience, you know, as much warm weather as possible, because I think that makes people happier. But I'm not going to talk about that too much. Real quick, I just wanted to say too, the drums on this are great. I can't believe they're programmed drums. Somebody like me wouldn't probably be able to pick up on that because I'm not a drummer, and I focus more in on the guitars when I listen to an album. But this album and the Slug J album, both, I thought the drumming was fantastic, and both ended up being programmed drums, not real drums. They must be able to do a lot with the software that they use to program those drums, because some of these fills, to my ears, they sound pretty complicated. So I don't know what that entails or what's involved with that, but kudos to the guy, again, Yari, kudos to him for attempting that, you know, and pulling that together. That was really cool. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and finish. Well, not finish. I'll make it to 12 minutes. And we'll see how this thing, let's see if it continues down this sort of melancholic, doomy path, or if it picks up in intensity again. This is bringing me all the way back, man, to puritanical euphoric misanthropia and enthroned darkness triumphant, spiritual black dimensions. Like, this is, you know, I can't believe that this is on here, man. This doesn't sound anything like Time 1. I don't remember a lot of this on Wintersun's debut. It feels like they've gone in a little bit of a different direction here, and I love it, actually. I think it sounds great. I'm just kind of blown away by this. They are definitely, this is a lot darker than what I remember Wintersun for. I'm not complaining. In fact, I think that it's improved on their sound. I think if they took this and sort of split it 50-50 between the stuff that sounds like Time 1 and the stuff that sounds like this, yeah, they'd have a really, and that's basically what they've done on this album, but if they did that moving forward, I think they'd have a really compelling project, you know? But also the shredding, man. This guy can play his ass off. He is a guitar virtuoso, but he's a little bit in hiding. He doesn't show it a ton, right? This isn't super technical music. It's very complex music, but the guitar work, what I'm trying to say is it's not typically in these songs hyper technical. But I feel like if he wanted to, he could do that. Maybe you guys could drop me a recommendation in the comments section for other Wintersun songs you think kind of reach that height of technicality for the entire song. But so far on this album, I have to say, that part stood out. You know, he was shredding his ass off. So this guy can definitely play lead guitar. Yeah, overall, this song, man, this song is so insane. This is great. Love this thing. So dark, just like the title. The title of this song is very fitting, and I think it lives up to the title of this song. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of it out. 2 minutes left. I have to say, I don't really like the way that song ended. I don't like I like for songs to either fade out. I'm fine with the fade out. A lot of people don't like the fade out. I think it's fine. I like them to either fade out or to come to a definite conclusion. That song sounds like it was going, and then it was like hacked off at the very, very end. The sound just suddenly stopped. I don't really dig that at all. I think that's kind of a strange way to end a song. I mean, you've written this masterpiece 14 minutes. At the very least you could do is figure out a way to just bring it down to a stopping point. I mean, that'd be like a world-class writer author, storyteller, writing like a 50-page novelette. And then getting to the very end, and it's like the falling action, or maybe even the rising action, like hasn't even reached the climax yet, and it just ends. But overall, I really can't complain about that song. I loved that thing. I thought that it was dark, it was heavy, it was intense, it was melodic, it was symphonic. It was everything that I have come to love about this album in particular, all on one song. So definitely Eternal Darkness, Awaken from the Dark Slumber, for me, the two best songs on the album. The Forest That Weeps has its moments, but I really like the darker Wintersun. I think it sounds great. It's sort of like a faster, more technical style of symphonic black metal, and I just love that. In the spirit of that, we're going to move on to track 4 here. This is Loneliness, and this is winter. This is the winter phase of the year, of the 4 seasons. This should be, again, desolate, depressing, melancholic, dark, perhaps heavy, perhaps technical. I don't know how fast it's going to be. If it's Wintersun, it can't be at a snail's pace the whole song. They're gonna speed it up at some point. I'm just really curious how they're gonna close out this suite. And again, it just makes me a little sad for the people that have to live in these climates. I mean, I'm sure there's something that's redeeming about living there. I'm sure there are good things about it, but at the same time, you have a song about autumn called Eternal Darkness. Like, what? In this part of the world? That's like a head-scratching moment. That's like a, holy shit, what? Like, that doesn't make any sense. By the way, guys, I'm not saying that Finland is a bad place to live or that Scandinavia is bad or any of that. I'm just saying, I'm sure that, it's an excellent place to live and that there are lots of good reasons to live there. I'm just saying that it's a very stark difference from what I'm used to living in the Midwest United States. So, yeah, we're going to check out this 4th track. This is Loneliness. This is Winter. 12 minutes and 54 seconds. Let's go. Drum pattern definitely a lot slower in this song. It's interesting to hear him sing again. I can't remember what track it was, the last track. I know I just listened to it, but it's a lot of music to take in all at once is what I'm saying. It's difficult for me to remember, but I can't remember the last track I heard him sing on. But I think he sounds good. I think he's got a good voice. I think it works in the context of this song. It's kind of a melancholic, dirgy song for these guys so far. I don't know the lyrics, okay? I don't delve into lyrics on this channel, guys. It's not what I do, with the exception of every once in a blue moon I might delve into the lyrics. If you guys watched my Woods of Ypres album reaction, I definitely delved into the lyrics on that album, but that's an exception to the rule. I'm not really interested in reading lyrics to these albums. So if you come for a lyrical breakdown, I'm sorry. Go to Vin and Sori's channel. They do the best lyrical breakdowns on YouTube. Okay, so go check them out. So far, I like it. It's just, it's gonna be a little bit more of a grower for me. It's not as immediately accessible for me as maybe some of the other songs on this album. So I'm thinking primarily of track 1 and 3. But yeah, it's got a lot of time left. Obviously, it's a long-ass song, so I'm going to go ahead and see where this sound and what they've established so far, where it kind of evolves and what happens. So I'll stop it again at 8 minutes. what we just heard, that was the first time that this really got a little bit up tempo. Like the guitars took on a different sound and vibe from what we'd heard so far. A little bit more, I guess, noodly or technical, just a little bit, not a lot, but what we had heard up to this point sounded to me, it was reminding me of that Altars of Grief record that I reacted to on this channel. Just, really good, melodic, doomy, melancholic, just, that stuff is so powerful when it's used in metal. I love it, man. It's one of my favorite presentations of some of those different emotions. And his singing on this, really, he hit a home run with this song, with the singing. The singing is so good. He's got such a great voice. It's hard for me to believe that somebody like him could be so talented at so many different things. I mean, he can do, obviously the synths, the programming, he can do the guitars, he plays bass, he can shred, he can sing. This guy does the growling too. His growls sound menacing. This guy has the world in the palm of his hand, I feel like. So yeah, I'm super impressed with, I always say that, but I'm really impressed with this individual, this guy. I know there are other people involved in this album, but Jari seems to be the main focus. It says it was produced, he produced the album. I mean, he did the vocals, he did all the arrangements, the lyrics, all the music. He was the engineer, he recorded it, he mixed it, he mastered it. He even helped come up with the album cover. I mean, this guy is a freaking monster, man. He is a monster. And I'm looking at genres here. It's saying symphonic black metal, of course. How could you miss that, right? Power metal. I think that overall this is a great experience, musical experience, and one that I will be listening to and having again and again and again. I mean, it's just masterfully written. The songs, they don't get boring at all. There's no stale moments on this entire thing. Each song is over 12 minutes. It's not really repetitive. I mean, the songs are constantly evolving and progressing and changing, and it's just very, very well done, this whole thing. So I don't want to give too much of my final thoughts yet, but needless to say, I'm very impressed with this thing. So I'm going to go ahead and let the rest of the song play out. It's got about 5 minutes left. Did any of you guys feel inspired during the second half of that song or the last third of that song? I felt inspired, man. It's supposed to be the most desolate, lonely, cold, bleak time of year, winter, but not the way the end of that song didn't sound like that. It didn't evoke any of those emotions for me. In fact, it was the exact opposite. It made me feel like there was hope in the world, and his voice, again, was transcendent, man. It was so powerful and so moving, epic, emotional, just like filled with soul, soul and heart. It was this track really threw me off guard. In fact, this whole album, I thought it would be good, but this album had a lot of emotional substance. And the subtext of the album, having to do with the seasons and everything, made it really interesting for me to kind of track this guy's feelings and emotions regarding the different seasons and how he interprets them and how they make him feel and where he lives. And this was just a beautiful album overall, man. This is like a magnum opus type of album. This could define someone's career here. This is spectacular. I got to give this thing 10 out of 10, man. Maybe a 9.5. I don't know. It's up there though. I don't usually like to rate things, but I loved this thing. Thank you again for recommending this thing and requesting this thing. Guys, if I said anything that was incorrect throughout the video, feel free to put that down in the comments section. I'm not averse to criticism, but my preference is for politeness, right? So go ahead, make as many criticisms as you want. Just be decent and polite about it, okay? I don't really want any snarky, mean-spirited comments on the channel. If I do find them, they're going to get removed anyway. But thank you guys for watching. Again, if you want my final thoughts on this album right here, I think this is great music for maybe a long trip where you get a chance to really listen to this entire thing. I think it's designed to be listened to from front to back. I don't think this is an album where you'd be able to take songs with you. I'm going to listen to this, on the way to the gym. I'm going to listen to this when I'm driving in the car on the way to work. And I think it could be used for that purpose, and that's probably what I'm going to use it for. But I think that this album, to really be appreciated, should be listened to from front to back because all of the songs fit within a certain context. It's a concept album. It's the traditional definition, basically, of a concept album. And the songs are so beautiful and so epic and grand, and they just, but also dark at times and very ferocious and at times depressing, melancholic. There's a lot that this album offers, and there's going to be editing in this video. I want you guys to go and listen to this thing without the editing because you will really appreciate this thing. If you like symphonic black metal, if you like power metal, if you like just heavy metal in general, you're going to like this thing. This is one of my favorite albums that I've reacted to on this channel so far. So this gets 2 big thumbs up. So you can see them, thumbs up for me. And yeah, that's it, guys. Have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. This is Metal Album Reactions. After this, we're going to go back to some of my hand-picked albums, unless I get some more subscriber requests, which I've seen requests on the channel. I don't know how many of them are from subscribers, though. Usually, I keep track of notifications I get of new subscribers, and I haven't seen any of my new subscribers making requests. I've seen requests from other people, but I haven't seen them come through on the channel yet. So, yeah, again, if you want to hear an album on the channel, please, please, please subscribe to the channel, and I will get to it. I'll at least listen to it. It may not make it up on the channel. If I don't like it, it's not going to. But I'm going to listen to it. I'm going to film it, and we'll go from there. Also, guys, try to request different stuff. So if I put out an album reaction to a certain artist, it's cool to put me on to another album that artist has done. but I'm probably not going to get to it right away because I want to spread the wealth around, and I want to publish videos for albums done by a variety of different artists, especially since this is a new channel, guys. It's not like I have this vast video library. I've got like 13 or 14 videos up, so yeah, I want to do as many different artists as possible, and so I'm probably not going to, just start uploading a lot of album reactions for one artist. It's not going to happen. So if you guys request something, try to pick something that I haven't already done. And that's not that hard. I mean, there's literally thousands of artists that you could pick from, right? Metal artists. Just, pick something else is all I'm saying. But anyway, guys, thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you to my subscribers. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.